Oh crap.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what it do, people? Oh man, this is your Monday rendition of, you know, when that phone goes off, you already know. It's Kicking It with Kstylz.
Mary will kick your ass. She gonna kick your ass.
Anime ain't gonna do a damn off. She ain't gonna do a damn thing.
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm on the wrong dang network. I need to be on another network, so just start it without me.
All right, but like I said, man, y'all know what it is. Like I said, it's your boy Kstylz, the sixth man. You got Mr. down here at the bottom. We call him Mr. Jew Talk Sports. Juju in the bank, calm before the storm, however the hell you want to call him. At the end of the day, he is the number one in your hearts. And you see the guy that's on the screen with the Falcon logo, he's the guy y'all like to hate, but hate to love, Mr. Mad Mike Sports, the mad scientist. Hey.
That wasn't good. That wasn't too long, was it?
No, you good. You
quit,
good.
Dog.
You good.
Okay, cool.
We just got the introductions out the way. So how are we doing, fellas, this afternoon? I asked the people in the chat too how y'all doing. I hope y'all day's been good so far. Appreciate y'all joining us on this regular Monday here. Man, where should we start? Should I go ahead and start with the shout outs? Let's go ahead and do it. Like I said, we got the nation in the building. We got Kenneth Lewis, Taco Bell. That sounds kind of weird to say that. Atlanta Falcons rise up. We got the undisputed queso, which goes well with Taco Bell. But Big C, the real, Asia Green, what's going on? Michael Walker, Eric McDowell, Millie Mills, Paul Durant, Joseph Thornton, Reggie C2K, Santana, Isaac Crimes, Jarvis Williams, Antonio Holloway. Man, we got a lot of folks in here ready to Orange Juice Jones. Standing in the rain. We already know where that came from. Devon Stamp, what's going on, man? But let's go ahead and just get to what we're going to talk about here. And I want to go ahead and I want to start with the first topic we got for tonight. As you read it at the bottom, and I'm going to put the picture up, Arthur Smith said he is not for the rebuild. He said he is here to win now. And let me read the quote he said. He said, all right, let me go ahead and put the picture down so y'all can see us. His quote was, they hired the wrong guys if they thought we were going to lower expectations, take our time, and rebuild. That's just not who we are. The expectation is to win now, build for the future, and have plans. So, what that says to me is they is not finna waste no time trying to wait to see what goes on down the line. As we know, NFL stands for not for long. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start this off with the I'm gonna start it with the mad scientist over here with the equations. Let's hear what he got to say on this subject.
Y'all probably wonder why I'm dancing. I'm dancing because I told you so. I told you so. Hey man, I told y'all that man is not trying to lose, bro. That man ain't got but 2 to 3 years to prove that he is a coach. This is what this is about. Terry Fontenot ain't got but 2 to 3 years to prove that he's a great GM. They don't give a damn about what y'all are crying about, oh, we need to start over. Oh, we need to rebuild. Oh, we need a quarterback. They got a quarterback. They're trying to solidify themselves as legit general managers, legit head coaches, and this businessman when it all come down to, this is business. This is the NFL. He just said it. Not for long. You don't win. Look, we just saw. Was it the Jets? It may have been the Jets, but we've seen several cases where head coaches are hired in the first year and then they fired after the first year. All right, how many times we've seen that? I mean, it's too many to count. So many head coaches have been hired in the first year, and then after that first year, they don't live up to expectations, and they're gone. So you think this man is no? He's trying to solidify himself as a head coach. He don't care about what you want. These guys don't give a flying, you know what? That's why we keep saying over and over again, we don't know what these guys are thinking. We don't know what these guys are going to do. Been saying that all year long, right? Got to listen to what they're saying. They've been saying we're here. I mean, this is one of his quotes. This is one of his quotes. I am here to make sure I get the best out of Matt Ryan. Play to Matt Ryan's strengths. Why would he say that? Why would he say that? Jew, why would he say that, bro?
I mean, we've seen him resurrect Ryan Tannehill's career. So we've been saying it, like, basically what I want to start off, Mike, before I answer your question, is basically what I said before the draft. Remember when I was saying we're going to see after this draft where this team is headed? Are we looking towards the future, or are we looking to win now? And this just proves that basically we would be wasting the talent that we have if we decided to draft a quarterback. Like, if you're going to keep Matt Ryan on the roster and Julio Jones on the roster and all of the pieces that we had here, the nucleus of the prior regime, it's kind of like we would have been wasting draft picks. We would have been wasting money as well, because I believe that's the main reason kind of why Aaron Rodgers is upset with the Green Bay Packers. It's like you can't have 1 foot out the door and basically be straddling the fence, kind of like 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in the future. You kind of have to either go all in right now or go all into the future. So I would have been down with, personally, I feel like we should have kept Matt Ryan, Julio Jones in this core unit and basically reload but not rebuild. We just re-upping or reloading. But if we were going to rebuild, I felt like get rid of Matt Ryan, trade him, like don't extend him, trade him or cut him. Get rid of Julio Jones, like get rid of everybody. That's why when I start hearing the rumors about Julio, it's like, well, if you're going to keep Matt Ryan, like, what's the point of getting rid of Julio? Because to me, they're basically tied at the hip. You know what I'm saying? Both of their contracts are pretty much up at the same time, 2 years from now. So it makes no sense to get rid of one and keep the other. Like, they're basically, to me, like a package deal. If you want to go young with a young quarterback, then bring in a young quarterback and bring in new weapons and keep Calvin Ridley, because he's still young, like super young, and he can build with that new quarterback. But because we went the direction that we went, just for the topic, basically Arthur Smith is saying, like we said, NFL stands for not for long. So these guys want to win now. They don't want to waste time. And to be honest, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, how many times have I said, I'm tired of losing? I want to win a Super Bowl right now. Don't tell me about 3 years from now. Like, I hate tanking. If you guys follow me on Facebook, LeBron just recently came out saying he doesn't like this play-in tournament, the NBA. He said whoever came up with this idea, the play-in tournament, needs to be fired. Personally, I love the play-in tournament because I hate to see teams tank. I hate it when I seen the Philadelphia 76ers tanking to get Joel Embiid and to get Ben Simmons. That's the main reason they changed the draft lottery, because you had teams literally tanking just to get the number 1 pick every year, just to have the worst record. And as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, I know what tanking looks like. It's horrible. I hate to see it. Like, nobody wants to go to the game. Nobody wants to watch the game when your team is not even trying to be competitive. So I feel like with the NFL, being competitive is at an all-time high. Like, we've seen teams go from worst to first. Look at the Buccaneers. They've been the worst team in our division for how many years? It went from worst to first. So basically, I'm like, with this Arthur Smith deal, I'm loving it. They added Kyle Pitts. I'm loving it because this reload is going to be serious. We literally could go from worst to first this year in our division. We could easily win our division. With the Saints losing Drew Brees, and pretty much the Panthers in rebuild mode. The only team standing in our way is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in our division. And with the weapons that we have, we can compete with them. So I'm loving it because as a fan, I hate to see tanking personally. I hate to see it. Even if they gave them the green light to tank and rebuild, personally, I wouldn't have been down with it because you're wasting Matt Ryan, you're wasting Julio Jones, you're wasting even Calvin Ridley. You're wasting a lot of his good years. You think Calvin Ridley want to sit here while we lose for the next couple years? This dude wants to win. You seen how disgruntled he was after games last year? He was pissed off. So just imagine this year them coming in and saying for the next 2 or 3 years we're just gonna go through a full rebuild. Calvin Ridley wouldn't even be trying to stay in Atlanta. Let's be real, because nobody likes to lose. These guys are pros, professionals. This dude went to Alabama. Julio Jones went to Alabama. These guys are used to winning. These guys are hungry. These guys do not want to lose. So, and I've talked about it before, and I'm gonna get to you, Kstylz, about the Julio Jones thing. We seen Calvin Johnson retire early because the team wasn't trying to win. They were all over the place. They were just a bad organization in the Detroit Lions. We seen Barry Sanders retire early. We don't want to see Matt Ryan, Julio. Like, we take these guys for granted, but a lot of guys hung it up early. We just seen Luke Kuechly because of injury reasons. We saw Andrew Luck hang it up. So we need to take full advantage of the chance we have right now while this window is still open to try to win the Super Bowl, while we still have these Hall of Fame caliber players. Because when this rebuild start, it might get ugly, and it's going to get ugly fast.
AKA later is not happening. It's now or go home. Bam. But before we get to the next topic, let's go ahead and get some of these comments, because I see a lot of people talking about, yes, Devon, yes, you got Felipe Franks. I remember he said something. He was like, I'll be damned if we get Felipe Franks. And ended up happening. And I know you extra happy because you hit on one of the picks. I know you extra happy. I was surprised you didn't start bragging on that yet.
I seen the comments, but I didn't know if y'all had a later segment. So I was like, I'll wait for them to segue into that, because I was bragging a little bit about the little Richie Grant thing.
We're getting into that.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into that later. Like I said, we're gonna hit these little tidbit points we got here right quick that I want to get into. But let's go and get into some of these fans' comments. Yeah, like I said, pretty much everybody saying they loving the mentality. I mean, you gotta want to win now. You not gonna coach long if you ain't trying to win now. Like I said, Danny Telsey said, love the win now mentality. Eric McDowell Jr., he said they addressed the trenches like they were supposed to. Yeah, you damn right. And like I said, we're going to get to that portion of it later, because there's a guy actually we drafted that I have a very interest in that I never really said nothing about. Let's see. Yeah, so pretty much everybody's on board with it. Like I said, we're on board with it.
One more thing that I got to say. That one more thing is that I just love that this guy's a complete asshole. I've been telling y'all the reason why I love and why I was advocating for Rex Ryan, because he don't give a flying freak about what y'all think. This dude don't give a dang what y'all want. He don't care about what y'all like. He's going to coach his style, and he's going to do whatever he wants. That's exactly what he's already giving it to the Have you guys seen him doing the press conference when they ask these stupid questions? The look on his face, like, are you really asking me this? Like, he's looking at it like, bro, you really asking me this? This dude don't give a crap. Look, I'm already a fan, all right? I'm already a fan, and we haven't played one game yet. So the fact that he doesn't care about what you think about him and his coaching style, bro, I'm going to say this right there. I got an absolute bromance for this dude right now. We ain't even started the season. I'm already loving what I see.
I'm about to say, does this look like the face of anybody that really gives a fuck what you think? He don't look like he cares. And like I said, and for everybody that's in the chat right now watching, hashtag run the damn ball. I know that's what I want to see right now. Hashtag run the damn ball. But while we doing that though, let's go ahead and get to this next topic I want to talk about. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all thumbs up, make sure y'all share this video. Like I said, we try to get this algorithm thing up on Atlanta Falcon Nation, Just Kstylz, Bad Mike Sports, and Jew Talk Sports. So the next topic I want to talk about is Mr. Calvin Sidestep Ridley. 5th-year option got picked up. Now, what I would say about this is that let you know that they have confidence in him to see what he does in this year's system, because they want him to be the vocal point, the future for this franchise. So this is pretty much going to be the test. It's going to be kind of like the Vic Beasley thing where they finna see if he can sustain this year and beyond. But it's a good thing.
Can I say this real quick?
Hold on, before we get to that, I'm gonna just say this about Cal Ridley. Now, once your ass start moonwalking and running to the sides, you're gonna get your ass pulled off the field. You saw the dude's face. This dude's face looked like he will pull your ass if you won't do nothing. But go ahead, Mike. What you got for him?
I'm gonna say this. It don't mean a damn thing about what they're gonna do in the future. This, like, would you not give, like, what you don't want to do? Like, this is just a 5th-year option that was already guaranteed. So they had to pay him that. All right, they had to pay. He worked for that. All right, that does not in any way say that they're going to get a job. They're going to get a deal done on him. He still has to audition for that job. Now, this is his, like what you said right here. This tells me that they have confidence in his abilities, but it's still up to him to continue to play at a high level so he can get that contract extension. Because this, like, he's a top receiver. And if he becomes a Pro Bowler, then that's going to make it even that more harder for them to really pay them. So I'm going to say this. And this might sound kind of crazy that I'm saying this, and we could possibly see what we saw with Roddy White, and not to that extent, but the reason why I'm saying this because they know they're going to have to pay really a lot of money. And we've always said that the Falcons need money to pay guys like Fourier, to pay guys like even, Kaminsky. These guys are going to, their deal going to be up soon. Fourier I think he's a Pro Bowl linebacker. Do you want to let him walk? So I could really see that the Falcons having another guy like Kyle Pitts, Julio Jones. You got to throw in Hayden Hurst. You got to throw in Russell Gage. Like, is his numbers going to look the same? Because if his numbers are not the same, then he's not going to get paid as much. So this is where it gets tricky. Can and will they kind of phase him out of the offense where he's not as important? That's a clue. Like, that right there is something to watch for. It's going to be interesting to see how he's involved in the offense, because if he is one of those guys, he's just primarily a deep passer, a big play receiver for the Falcons, then I mean he's going to be upset because he wants more targets, and he's not going to get, if I'm just being honest, he's not going to get as many targets if he continues. If Kyle Pitts is really his tool, his guy. Julio Jones is still Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, or Calvin Ridley. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that he has to.
Well, I'm about to say, like, Calvin really done muted his ass. Like, come on. But yeah, pretty much he's saying, like I said, is this just a point to prove? And you already know the inevitable is coming up. Like I said, Prove It here says he said he loved this show. Like I said, we appreciate you. Like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in and chatting it up right now. And like you said, it wouldn't be no AFN without the people watching. So we appreciate you. That's why I said really this is kind of a make or break year for him. We know he's gonna make it. And they're gonna put him in positions to make it. All right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and finish what you were saying before you got cut off by Dirk Cutter. Oh, wait a minute. He still kind of me. Well, he's speechless right now, so we're gonna go ahead and go with Mr. You Talk Sports on this subject in hand.
Hey, I'll go say this about Calvin Ridley. I do think he's going to get the big contract. I know we talk about him moonwalking and stuff like that, and him slides, doing a cha-cha slide and stuff like that. We know we make jokes and stuff like that here on the show about Calvin Ridley. But real talk, I think Calvin Ridley is a top 3 route runner in the game. Like, I don't think he's a guy one-on-one in man-to-man coverage. He's a man-to-man beater. Like, he beats man-to-man. He's one of the best at beating man-to-man coverage. So I do think he's going to be here. He's going to get that big deal because I think that Julio Jones, after this year, like after his 2-year contract is up, once he's out of this contract, I don't know if Julio is going to be a guy. I think he's going to be the guy. What Michael's talking about, phase out of the offense. I really think that he's going to be the guy that's going to start to phase out, especially if he's a guy that can't stay healthy. Because we talked a little bit about it with Terrence Mathis, how he talked about Julio Jones catching like a 15 to 20-yard pass and then running to the sideline and stuff like that. I don't know if that was more Julio Jones, like pulling himself out of the game, or was that Dirk Cutter in the offense that they were running where he would, have a big play and then he would get a breather or he would run off the field, or him coming out of the game in the red zone. I know that was more about Dirk Cutter, but him catching the ball and running off the field and stuff like that, stretching, like Julio's health is going to be big in this whole Calvin Ridley ordeal. But personally, I believe that Arthur Smith loves Calvin Ridley because when he came in initially, when him and Terry Fontenot had that first initial interview when they got hired, Grady Jarrett, Calvin Ridley was two of the young players that he talked about that he loved on this roster. So I do think that his play is going to be huge as far as Calvin Ridley. But if you guys remember when we had Terrence Mathis on, he talked about Calvin Ridley. He just needs to be hit. He just needs to get his bell rung one good time and get up and realize that he survived the hit. That's all it is with Calvin Ridley. He just haven't had that one hit where he gets blasted and he survives it. Once he has that one hit, gets hit, get his bell rung, he'll be good because he's basically been dodging those type of hits. But once he takes that one big hit, like you guys remember, Steve Smith Jr. or Steve Smith Sr. that played for the Panthers, he was a small guy. He wasn't a big guy, but he wasn't afraid to get hit. And that's what Terrence Mathis talked about. Terrence Mathis, when I asked him to tell me a player that emulates his game, like on the Falcons currently or any player in the league, he said Calvin Ridley reminds him of himself. So to me, that was a big thing for him saying that, because we know how great Terrence Mathis was as an Atlanta Falcon. He was an all-time leader before Roddy White, before Julio Jones. He was the standard. So for him to say that he loves Calvin Ridley's game and he thinks that Calvin Ridley is the closest thing to him, he plays exactly like him, I really think that Calvin Ridley's ceiling, he has a lot of potential. So I can see Calvin Ridley being here for the long term and even being here when the next quarterback comes in. Once Julio and once Matt Ryan retires, I could easily see Calvin Ridley being a Falcon for a very long time. Now, it is going to be up to him, him performing and him staying healthy, because he's had some injuries as well. As much as we talk about Julio, he's had some foot injuries and things of that nature. I don't remember what kept him out. I know 2 years ago, he wasn't able to finish the season. I don't remember what injury he had. Yeah. So he's had his share of injuries as well. But I think that his route running ability is what makes him dangerous, because he can line up anywhere. Really, he's one of those guys. I've seen him put him in the backfield. I've seen him in the slot. He's a guy that can run all the routes. And to me, that's something that you can't overlook about his nuance and knowing the game and being able to run every route on the route tree, because every receiver in the league can't do that. Prime example was a guy like Dez Bryant who played with the Dallas Cowboys. He was a great player, but he couldn't line up everywhere. He didn't have the route running ability. So I think that's huge for a guy like Calvin Ridley because Arthur Smith, he's going to create openings for this guy. He's going to put these guys in position to succeed. So I think Calvin Ridley's numbers are going to continue to rise. And I think Julio, the guy that's – go ahead.
Too many weapons, dude. You got way too many weapons to say that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about phase out of offense as far as the weapons are concerned. When you have so many weapons, somebody's not going to get as many. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to to make big plays. Yeah. But who's going to get, because he may fall in love with Kyle Pitts. He may just fall in, and Kyle Pitts is getting 120, 30 targets a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is where it's going to tell who's going to get phased out of offense. It could very well be Calvin, because right now, it's like if you take what he's saying seriously, it's like, okay, Julio Jones. I love Julio Jones. I love Matt Ryan. Right now, do you still love Julio Jones over Calvin Ridley? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think anybody would say, Julio Jones or Calvin Ridley. They'll say Calvin Ridley over Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean as far as like Kyle Pitts is the wild card in this entire deal. He's going to take targets away from one of those guys. And right now, I don't think it's Calvin Ridley. I think Julio Jones is still going to gun that. Like, I still think Julio is still going to get those targets.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Mike. I think that's where we part ways, though. I don't agree with you when you say I would take Julio over Calvin Ridley. I think the reason I think that Julio's numbers are going to drop is because we've seen Julio Jones as the guy that gets those double teams. Like, I don't see them saying, well, we're going to double Ridley. I think Ridley is going to see the most single man coverage. I'm thinking teams are going to double team Julio, and if Kyle Pitts start to eat and nobody can cover him man to man, which nobody can because of his size, I really think that they're going to draw a lot of the double teams, meaning I think Ridley's going to be the guy that's going to be singled up. And because he runs routes the way he does, I think that he's going to benefit. He's basically going to eat off of those guys because we've seen Matt Ryan. He's not going to force Julio the ball. Now, Kyle Pitts, I do think he's going to take from Julio and Ridley because he's that target in the red zone. But I think that Ridley is going to be the guy that everybody's going to have to single up because his size. I think that they're going to think we can put our best corner on Ridley and double team Kyle Pitts and try to double team Julio. So I think who's going to benefit the most out of those three guys is Calvin Ridley. And then another guy that we haven't mentioned, I think Hayden Hurst is another guy as well that's going to eat. In those double tight end sets, they're going to send that double team at Hayden Hurst, at Kyle Pitts over Hayden Hurst. So I think Hayden Hurst is another guy that's going to eat. As much as we didn't pick up his fifth-year option, he's a guy that I think is going to eat as well because he doesn't have the size that a guy like Kyle Pitts has. So I think the double teams are coming Julio's way, and they're coming Kyle Pitts' way. I think Gabe, Ridley, and Hurst, I think those guys are going to see the single coverage.
All right. So pretty much I kind of disagree with both of y'all. I said the guy that's going to get his targets took away is the used to be second tight end, Keith Smith.
I knew you were going to go with that.
Keith Smith ain't gonna be part of this offense like that no more. It's gonna be hilariously funny. But Jude just hit on a good point too. But let's go and get to some more of these comments before I hit the next portion because we ain't gonna try to take too much more time on this next point. Like people saying, they said they can't wait to see Kyle Pitts against the Saints. I see a lot of Felipe Franks comments in here. I kind of feel like they're going to kind of use him kind of like the Taysom Hill role in this offense as a gadget quarterback type of thing. I kind of have a feeling that'd be the only reason why they would go that route.
Hey, Kstylz, why you on Felipe Franks? I don't believe he's a part of your topics tonight, is he? Felipe Franks? Because I kind of wanted to say something about him. Everybody's joking about him in the chat. But I actually watched some tape on this dude. And I've actually watched a little bit of him when he was at Florida. I think he was a freshman when he was at Florida. He transferred to Arkansas. Hey, everybody's laughing, but Felipe Franks can play. I went and looked at this guy's tape. Dude is 6'6", 235 pounds, and he has an arm, bro. Like, y'all gotta go check this dude out. Like, everybody's laughing. I think he might be the backup. I think he's better than I think he's gonna be better than AJ McCarron. Like, we got AJ McCarron in that 2 slot, but I think before it's all said and done, I can see Felipe Franks being the second quarterback on the depth chart. I went and looked up this guy's stats. This dude completed 70-some% of his passes and 60-some% of his passes, almost 70% twice in his junior and senior year. And that's what I look at for a quarterback. I don't just look at touchdowns and interceptions. I look at that too, your interception to touchdown ratio, but I also look at the completion percentage, how accurate of a quarterback he is. If you go look at his tape, y'all talking about y'all want a guy that can, move out the pocket, who can actually run the ball and throw the ball. He's a mobile quarterback. I want to look at some of the play, his highlights. Dude can play. So if you let him sit up under a guy like Arthur Smith, I believe he can do some things like he did with Ryan Tannehill with Felipe Franks. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm like, this dude actually can play. Why he didn't get drafted? I'm looking at this guy like, maybe that's why the Falcons didn't draft a quarterback, and they knew they possibly could get him.
You want to get this? Should I?
Go ahead. What you got?
You all right? Have you seen him play against Georgia?
You talking to me, Mike?
Just watch his games against Georgia. Just watch his games against Georgia. You'll know why everybody kind of up in arms. But he does have skill set, but it doesn't always translate. So that's where coaching is going to have that's where coaching is going to come. Dude played like absolute garbage. He couldn't complete passes. All he could do was run. So he has the tools, but it's always about can it translate in the NFL. So he definitely has the tool without question.
Translation.
Yeah, he got the tools.
I'm about to say for the people in the back, translation, he doesn't have the consistency yet.
There you go.
There you go. That's true Kstylz right there.
hey, what they say, they wanted a quarterback that's gonna sit for 2 years under Matt Ryan. Well, here we go.
They got one. It ain't gonna cost you but about $400,000-$500,000. So, hey, but let's go and hit this. Let's go hit this one more topic before we get to the real portion of the show. Like I said, I don't want to take too much time on this one, but you kind of allude to it. It was that Hayden Hurst. He's up for free. He's possibly up for free agency up next season. They didn't pick his option up. I just think with Kyle Pitts there, like it kind of made him expendable. Is he still gonna be? He's still gonna be a part of this offense? Yes, but like I said, if future down line, it's you got your franchise tight end right there. Why pay the extra money to keep Hayden Hurst? That's how I go do it. Like I said, a lot of people wonder why I ain't speaking much. I'm just coming with the simple points. I told you I am a simple guy. My words come in about 2 sentences. These guys break it down a little bit better than I can. But let me go ahead, Mike. Let you go ahead and get a little bit into this topic right here. What you think about them not picking up his option?
God, I want to make one thing clear. I don't think this has anything to do with the fact that, like, I don't think even with Calvin Ridley, whether it's Calvin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, I don't think it's and this is the reason why I want to make this clear before I even answer that question. Like, this is why I'm saying it's about Calvin Ridley. It's all about how the offense is going, because if his offense is going, if he's going to tailor his offense to the talent, then you're going to see more passing than running. All right, but there's going to be a healthy balance. That's the thing that we didn't have. We didn't have a healthy balance. We're still going to pass the ball, but we're going to pass the ball more effectively and run the ball more effectively. Run the ball more effectively, and that's what he's going to bring. So we're going to still see the same team. We're going to still be a passing team, but we're going to be more effective with the run. And if he and Arthur Smith, who I'm speaking of, if he decides that we're going to run the ball more. This is the reason why I believe at this point in time that you're going to have to choose between, all right, Julio Jones is without question the greatest. I think he's the greatest athlete to ever, grace the Falcons, even over Deion. Like, this dude is a physical specimen. And I'm talking about physical. There's nothing Julio can't do on that field. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him play defense before. We've seen him on special teams. Like, Julio does everything. So if this is the same offense from Tennessee, then we can pretty much state that one of those receivers are going to be faded out of the offense. And me personally, being that Arthur Blank stated that Julio is going to be a Falcon for life, this is the reason why I say that maybe Calvin Ridley may be phased out of the offense just due to the style of the offense. I'm not saying he's going to do it on purpose and, he doesn't like the guy. He's just going to be – I just feel as though that it's the style of offense. If it's anything like Tennessee, then one of those guys are going to be phased out of offense. And at this point in time, I'm picking Julio over Calvin. But it's just sheer – it's just pretty much off just based on the style of the offense. But as far as the what was the question again? Dang, I lost that quick. But the Hayden Hurst, as far as Hayden Hurst is concerned, it's pretty much the same thing. The style of the offense. So if the Falcons are more if they're going to be a pass-heavy team, then he doesn't fit in it. It doesn't make any sense to bring him back because they're going to be they're going to be a more of a balanced team. And that's what that states to me. It's going to be a balanced team. So we're not going to see, those guys pay a lot of money to receivers. Like, they're not going to pay a lot of receivers. So you see Russell Gage and, Hayden Hurst and all these guys, they're not going to pay a lot of money to these guys. They're going to pay money to the offensive linemen. They're going to get these guys like, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, whoever these young guys, these young stars, the Mayfield, who are going to get in real soon. We're going to pay those guys the money. We're not going to play all these skill positions. So, like, I think it's more so it's a wait and see. It's really premature, but this is what we do, man. We state what we think, even before the season it starts. But that's pretty much it, man.
All right, Drew, what you got for me?
Yeah, when it comes to Hayden Hurst, I just think we got Kyle Pitt. Like, you guys remember a couple shows ago, y'all thought I basically just was hating on Hayden Hurst. Y'all kind of laughed about it like, dang, Judah said Hayden Hurst, like Vince McMahon said, you're fired, basically. But I just was just like, hey, look, if Kyle Pitt show up in that locker room, it's going to be some problems. Like Hayden Hurst, that automatically bumped you down. Now, one thing I can say, what have we been hearing from Arthur Smith? That everybody's going to have to compete for your spot. So I said Hayden Hurst might have something to say about that. Like I personally think that Kyle Pitts is going to be the big man on campus, but at the end of the day, they both are going to have to learn that playbook. It's going to basically be up to them who gets that number one spot at tight end. Personally, I think it's going to be Kyle Pitts because the dude's just a physical freak. And I don't see Hayden Hurst beating him out. But I just feel like this is a money situation. Mike already kind of talked about it. A Foyer is going to need to be paid. Calvin Ridley is trying to get this big contract. So you can't pay everybody. Eventually, if Kyle Pitts ball out, he's going to need a big contract. So that's what I was talking about with Julio. After this 2-year deal is over with, we don't know what Julio wants to do. He might just decide to hang it up, especially if we win a Super Bowl. He might not want to play till he's 40 years old. He might say, look, I want to leave while I'm still healthy. He might be done. Like, we don't really know. So when it comes to the Hayden Hurst situation, I really just think that this is a contract situation. Who you rather have? You want to keep Hayden Hurst or do you want to keep Calvin Ridley? We can't give both of these guys a big deal, So somebody's going to have to bite the bullet. And that's kind of what happened with a lot of the guys that we have. Eventually, when we had our 2016 team, we went to the Super Bowl. I kind of talked about it. You can't pay everybody. Like, they paid Deion Jones. We seen Devondre Campbell. We couldn't pay everybody from that roster. Even though that was a solid roster, we couldn't pay everybody. Already had too many guys that had big contracts. We paid Grady Jarrett, So somebody's gonna have to bite the bullet. And in this instance, I think it's gonna be Hayden Hurst because you got Kyle Pitts on that rookie deal. So you can't beat that. Like Hayden Hurst, whatever the asking price is, I heard it's somewhere around $15 million a year. If we want to keep Hayden Hurst, I think that's like around what tight ends make. So Hayden Hurst is trying to get paid, and at the end of the day, it's a business. So even if we say we want to keep Hayden Hurst after this 5th year, like after this year is up, I don't believe we can afford him. Let's just be real. We're not going to be able to afford him, and he's going to want to take the highest bidder. He's not going to take a pay cut to stay in Atlanta. So I just really think that this is really a contract situation. I don't think that they dislike Hayden Hurst. I just think that this is a situation where they know that these big contracts are on, like guys are going to need to be paid. And Hayden Hurst is, he's not the top man on that totem pole.
All right. And I'm sorry. Let me say one more thing, because I thought, again, I want to make this as clear as we possibly can. And people who think simply I'm hating on Calvin Ridley, it's all financial. I want a great defense. I want a great defense. I'm tired of playing wide receivers. I'm tired of playing running back. I'm tired of playing cornerback. I need defense. I don't want Fourier to go anywhere. I believe I think he's a next Pro Bowler. He has the potential to be even better than Deion Jones as a complete linebacker. I don't want to see him walk. So if we pay Calvin Ridley, guess what, people? We still won't have a damn defense. We still won't have a damn defense. We're giving away great talent because we're playing offensive guys. That's been the issue all this time. So it's not against Calvin Ridley. I want a damn defense. I'm sick and tired of this prissy-ass football. I want heavy hitters. I want hard hitters. I want guys that are going to punch in your damn face and smile and kick your grandma in her hip, all right? I want all of that. I want all that type of stuff, all right? I want it all right? So forgive me if it seems like I'm hating on Calvin Ridley, but I don't want to pay $150 million, $120 million to $150 million for another goddamn receiver. I'm sick of it. We need to build these damn trenches. Okay? So that's my thing. I just had to let that be known. I'm tired of this damn sissy ass. Excuse me. I'm tired of this soft football. Go ahead, Kat.
Hey, Mike. This is what you do when you go on a tangent like that. After you get finished, you do this. Woosah.
I'm sorry, man, but I had to let. I'm tired of scoring 30 points, bro. I need to see some 17-3 games. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? I'm sick of it, bro.
And I've said this before. I don't give a damn about scoring 40 points a game. I need my defense to give up less than 24 points a game, less than 23. I need red zone efficiency to be top 5 in the league. I need to see turnovers and I need to see fucking sacks. This is what the heavy hitters is about. This is what the run the damn ball philosophy is about. It's about toughness in the trenches and getting it done in the dirty. Like I said, a 10-9 game would be beautiful for me. Hell, a 6-3 game would be beautiful for me if we come out on top. At the end of the day, in order for this team to turn it over as new leaf, it has to motherfucking go back to the back in black Dirty Birds 1998 team. It has to.
Absolutely.
But that was my little mini rant for that one. People can see those. But like you said about whatchamacallit, Hayden Hurst being fired. Let me do it. I'm gonna do it correctly for you. You're oh man. But let's go ahead and get a couple of these comments before we get to the real topic for tonight. Yeah, people say, we don't get sacks. Dexter Vlad says, thank you. Build the trenches. First time I agree with this man in years. Okay. Hey, we like I said, we are tired of seeing our trenches getting ran over. Let's see. Aaron from Jones says y'all views went up since the draft. Respect. Like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in to us, regardless if it's one or 1,000. It's all about respect. We appreciate you. Paul Durant said, I feel you on that, Mike. I'll even take a penalty every now and then. hey, as long as that penalty sets a tone as far as the toughness, you can take one of those a lot. You don't want to be taking 15 penalties a game. There's a difference. Hold on. We got a $5 super chat. He said, "Amen, sir. Tired of this weak, soft defense or defense wins championships, period." It's not always defense, but it's about the key stops in key situations. And that's where we have been really, really, really bad. Like I said, I don't want to be talking about the Amber Rose, Suki Hana, flood walk defense this next year. I don't want to say that. I want to, because like I said, we had the 5th worst pass defense in NFL history. I don't think y'all want to go down. Okay. Here you go, Millie Mills. Run the damn ball, get the damn quarterback. Exactly. And I'm glad he said this is because it's going to lead to the final topic of the night. And I know this is the topic. What of our grades for this Falcons draft? I want everybody in here that's watching, I want y'all to give me your grades, what y'all thought about this draft of all the picks and stuff like that. As we know, Kyle Pitts is going to be getting an A+ from everybody. I know Jude's super ecstatic because the prophecy has come true for Atlanta with him, with Richie Grant. Still fuck Buffalo because they got me and Mike's two top players in the draft. But I'm gonna give it a B+. And the reason why I'm gonna give it a B+, there's one player that we drafted that I've actually watched for a while, but I never mentioned it to y'all, and that's Antetokounmpo Ogundeji. Yes, I said
you finally got his name right. I didn't know how to say his damn name. I've been watching him for a long time too. Oh man.
Yeah. Repeat after me. Antetokounmpo Ogundeji. Ogundeji.
Okay, I got it.
Because dude from Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the dude from Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah, that dude. I love him. I love that dude.
Bro, you know this boy damn near got an 87-inch wingspan.
6'5". Problem.
Wow.
That's a big dude. Nathan. Well, kind of in a way we got Giannis, but it's not Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like I said, I can call him by name. We just gonna call him Ogun. That's what we're gonna call him. Just Ogun. But I'm excited about him, and the other guy that I'm really excited about is Jalen Mayfield. I'm excited about him.
My I know you love this draft, Jude, because you've been talking about building the trenches forever, man.
Yeah.
So I think Jude, let's just let the Jude have this because I know he's been foaming at.
Hey, I'm chomping at the bit, man.
Hold on. Hey. Jude, before you go, we gotta do it right, Mike. Hey, let me go and put the picture up so people can see it. Yeah. Don't worry about the picture being backwards. That's the way I found it. So y'all already know. Oh man.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jude.
Well, I gave I gave it a B+ too, Kstylz. I would have given them an A. The only reason they get a B+ is because y'all know I wanted that one tech. We didn't get that nose tackle that I wanted. I wanted that one guy that we could put in the middle because I'm not a big fan of Tyler Davidson. I just am not a big fan of him as a one tech. And I really don't think that Grady is best used when he's playing the one. I really wanted us to get a guy that has that size and that kind of plays that Rashid Hageman role when we had him here. I still don't think that we have that guy like a Rashid Hageman, Dontari Poe, that guy that can just be stout right there in the middle against the run. So that's the only reason I didn't give Terry Fontenot an A, but I did give him a B+ because you guys have talked about it already. Kyle Pitts, y'all know I've been raving for Kyle Pitts. We got him in that second round. Richie Grant, I've been talking about a dude out of UCF. Y'all know I live in Florida. I've been watching this kid for a while. He's going to take the football away. And that's what we need. We finally got that eraser back there that if a corner messes up, he's going to be in position. How many times we hear last year Kstylz saying, I knew Ricardo Allen was always going to be late. He wasn't going to be over the top where he needed to be. He's going to guess wrong. Richie Grant is a guy that flies around the field. We wanted Andre Cisco, but he does the same things that Andre Cisco does. He's a guy that can hit, he's fearless, and he's a guy that's going to take the football away. In college, I believe they say he had like 10 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles. Richie Grant is the real deal. So I'm loving what we did with him. He's a guy that can play that single high or 2 safeties. And another thing I didn't know until I listened to his interview was him and Eric Harris was working out together pre-draft. So they already was building that connection with each other and that chemistry. So that's huge that these guys already been working together in tandem because they could easily be back there on the field together in that safety tandem. So y'all know I love Richie Grant and I love what we did with Mayfield on the offensive line. I love Dahlman. Even though they say he has short arms, I like that we're bringing in guys that's going to compete with the guys that we have. What we're seeing is Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot putting their fingerprint on this team. Not just saying, well, we're just going to go with the guys that were already here. We know that Matt Hennessy is here. They drafted him a year ago. Let's just go with him. No, they're making these guys compete. They're not going with, what the prior regime did with, well, we're not going to bring guys in here to compete with Vic Beasley and to compete with Pat McKinley because they wouldn't draft guys, in the first round on the edge to compete with those guys. I'm loving what they're doing because they said the best players will play. I don't know if you guys seen Kelsey Conway. She put a tweet up and I retweeted it. She talked about the best players will play. If you want a helmet on Sunday, the best players are going to get out there. So you got to go out there and prove it to these coaches that you're hungry and that you're going to do your job. They're going to hold you accountable. So I'm loving that they went and drafted. Even though we had, guys already in those positions, they went and added depth. And they're going to make these guys compete because you guys know we brought in, I believe, another offensive lineman that plays guard and center as well. I can't remember the guy's name that we brought in, but we brought in
Andrews. I believe, Andrews.
I think that's his name. Yeah, so I'm glad that they're not standing pat. They're saying, no, we're going to bring in multiple guys because nobody's safe. Even Caleb McGarry. If Mayfield come in and ball out, he could be our right tackle. Like if he come in, he could take. They don't care that Caleb McGarry was a first rounder because he hasn't gotten that second contract yet. So he might be in a few years. He may not get his 5th year option if he don't, if he don't ball out. And I love that they're bringing in guys that's going to compete with these guys. Dahlman as well. He's going to compete with Hennessy for that center and guard position. So if these guys don't come to play, hey, go ahead, Kstylz.
Okay, just for everybody to know, this was Ricardo Allen. I want y'all to hear this.
Oh, God.
So y'all can bring this.
Y'all have no idea what that means.
Not the dial up. Not the dial up internet.
Dial up, bro. Hey, man. Tell me what it means.
That was Ricardo Allen playing free safety.
Yeah, man.
That man was
Late
Low
to every-
and late to everything.
So are you saying that he was out there? He was buffering on the field? Is that what you're saying?
He was
Kstylz?
buffering, boy. That thing. See, these folks don't know, man. When we had dial-up, boy, you cut the computer on. It took about a damn minute before it came up.
Don't let nobody
Man.
call. Don't let nobody call, boy.
You let somebody call your phone, that thing going right back to where it started.
Yeah. But like I was saying, man, I just love what Terry Fontenot did in this draft. I think he did a great job at bringing in we got the best player available, because I love that he said originally when he came in, we're going to go best player available. And I like that he stuck with his formula. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to their interview after the draft. And they were asking him, like, why y'all didn't draft a running back? And they were like, it was basically how the draft board fell. We just were taking best player available, like we said. And we didn't feel at certain positions that the players that we wanted were there anymore. Because I really think, like you guys know, everybody wanted Javonte Williams. And I think he was a guy that was on their draft board. He didn't fall to us. Same thing with Cisco. Because Trevon Merrick, I don't know if you guys noticed, he was on the board when we moved back. Trevon Merrick was still there. So they just like Richie Grant better as a better fit. You know, they went with him over Trevon Merrick. So I love the draft. And then the one kid, I listened to all of their interviews, but the one guy that I really loved out of his interview was the 6th round pick. I think his name is Hardy, if I'm not mistaken. Or Darby, that plays a wide receiver out of Arizona State.
Oh,
I like him a lot because I think he's a guy that can be a special teamer, and I love the way that he tracks the football. He's not the fastest guy, because he was one of the guys that was down at the Senior Bowl, and they were showing his one-on-one tape. He's not great. He's not a great route runner. But I love his energy. He has an energetic personality. If you guys look at his interview, he looked like one of those guys that's going to be a tone setter on the special teams. I really can see him being a gunner and being a guy that's going to be a scrappy type guy that's going to be maybe the 52 to 53 man. He's going to be a guy that's going to scrap and compete for a position. So I really love just listening to him talk about what he's been through in his life. I believe he said he lost his mother recently, but he was a guy from New Jersey. He said he's just a scrapper. And he's a guy that played for Herman Edwards. And we know Herm Edwards is a guy that don't play no games. Already. Yeah, Herm don't play no games. And he's down there at Arizona State coaching. And he was one of the captains of the team, this guy Darby. So out of all of the picks, just the later picks, listening to his interview was my favorite because he was super energetic and he looks like a guy that's hungry and that's going to compete. And it might take somebody's job, real talk, because he's just a dog. So I pretty much love the whole draft. You guys seen the corner we went with out of San Diego State. I think Darren Hall is his name. He's another guy that looks like he's a ball hawk. He's a ball hawk at corner. So I think we did an excellent job all the way across the board. Every single pick, it looks like they did their homework. The scout team did a great job. But I told you guys going into the draft, Terry Fontenot was a former scout. So that was his grassroots, and it showed in this draft. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh, before I get the mic, I'm going to just say one thing about Darby. He is a bigger, faster Russell Gage. I'm just going to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. I like him.
Yeah.
But Drew pretty much broke it down. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna take the Kstylz. I'm gonna take Kstylz approach, and I'm gonna just say this about what I like most about this is just we put an emphasis on, and this is the first time that I can honestly say this, and I think he did a great job because for me, it's all about mentality. The guys that we drafted in this, not only are they great people, they're energetic, but they are some nasty son of a guns. That offensive line, Chris Dahlman, Drew Dahlman. Sorry, I said Chris Dahlman. His dad is Chris Dahlman, but Drew Dahlman and Mayfield. I'm in love with those guys. When I first saw Mayfield, his tape, I instantly jumped out on me is his physicality. That's what we want. I don't need one thing we all can say last year that really pissed us all off is to see, I think it was last year, but it may have been the year before, but to see Aaron Donald just hold up Devontae Freeman like he was a damn child, and not one offensive lineman came up to his defense. Like nobody came up to his defense. I don't get that type of attitude. This is the reason why I say I'm so sick and tired of a soft freaking offense. I'm sick of it. I need some nasty guys that like hit you in the balls while you laying on the ground. Like I want to stomp on your fingers and Ndamukong Suh type stuff. I want them to tote the line. I want to see that. I want to see Harvey Dahl again. I want to see Tyson Clabo. I want to see Bob Whitfield and all these guys. Like Bob Whitfield was another nasty guy. Like this dude was nasty. That Falcons offensive line in '98, them guys were nasty. They did not. Tom McClure, those guy was nasty. We need that again. So when I saw from the offensive standpoint, I just saw guys with attitude. I saw receivers like Darby with attitude. I saw Richie Grant again, attitude. He got that swagger. He knows he can get the ball. Like that's the most important thing for me at safety. That know that you can get to a ball. He does not hesitate. He knows he's going to get that ball, so he doesn't hesitate. He gets straight to it. He see it. He's making the hit and he's getting to the ball. So that's what I like most about this draft is the attitude that came along with these drafts.
And another thing that I loved about this draft too was it was the two key words that I used. I think this was the first time that I remember that a whole draft had one theme on it. Like the whole theme of this draft was value and versatility. And that's what you get from a lot of these guys. And like Taquan, like what was it? Taquan?
Taquan Graham.
Yeah. See. I was thinking of Errol Thompson. I was thinking of Errol Thompson because Tony Wright talking about Errol Thompson, and I'm like, I remember if you actually go to the Just Kstylz channel, I got a video on Errol Thompson. Actually, that was the first scout video.
Man, I forgot about Errol. Man, but I forgot
like I said,
about Errol.
He is a straight up run stopper, but he likes to explode to the line of scrimmage. So, especially in a 3-4 setting, he's the perfect linebacker for a Deion Jones because he will do the dirty work. But Taquan Graham, I like him, his versatility too. He's not quick on the ball, but that can get worked on with time. But he can play inside and outside, just like the other guys. And like everybody can play multiple roles. Because I'm mad Mike actually said something about this. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a picture up so I can remind y'all of why we say
I'm afraid.
If you see your offensive player getting yoked up like this and ain't nobody near him to save him,
look at that.
Nobody.
It ain't one other red jersey in that picture right there. It's 3 Rams in that picture.
Not an offensive lineman or nothing. Could have been an offensive lineman or somebody. I mean, even if you might get your ass slapped up by Aaron Donald, at least show that you have. See, that's where the brotherhood died, right? The brotherhood died right there. It wasn't the Super Bowl. You still had a little bit of it, but when you saw that right there, the brotherhood was dead. Because ain't no way in hell I'm finna let my brother get yoked up. And remember, that was just 3 Rams players. It was 6 of them around there before a Falcon player even showed up.
And showed up, yeah.
And it happened at home, which makes it worse. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think Arthur Smith about to have that. I'm just saying, which kind of leads to well, we pretty much just said our expectations is we can't get no worse, but we're looking definitely because we remember we were 0-8 in games decided by 6 points or less. So it was one play. So this is not a bad team, even without the draft. This wasn't a bad team. It was a team that just lacked that extra punch to take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to the coaching. The coaching didn't help it. Hey, and like I said, as we know, during this draft, we still hearing it from the Justin Fields crowd about how they hope we go 4-12 and 0-17 because we didn't draft a quarterback. Motherfucker, we ain't got no money.
Right.
At the end of the day, he ain't got no money. And I'm gonna say it like this: I think Justin Fields actually ended up in a better situation in Chicago than where he would be in Atlanta. And I'm gonna tell you why. Andy Dalton ain't finna finish that season. He ain't finna finish as no starter. He about to blow. He gonna blow it in 3 games. He gonna blow it in 3 games.
You mean as far as like, him having the opportunity to play? That's what you mean?
The opportunity and the expectations. Because remember, Chicago ain't had a consistent quarterback since the 40s. Let's be real. They haven't had I think they said it's been 40 years since the last quarterback threw for over 3,300 yards. 40 years. They said them and the Jets were the only team in the 16 season era to not have a passer go for over 3,300 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, so he ain't got to deal with the expectation of the fan base that will turn on him if he doesn't play well. So he's good. But we can talk about a couple more of these undrafted free agents we got here too. We can close it out like that about a couple. So I'm gonna ask Drew. I'm gonna ask Mike. I don't know if y'all like out of all the undrafted free agents we got, like the Felipe Franks, the Javen Hawkins, the Earl Thompsons, like who was your favorite? Who was your favorite undrafted free agent that you like?
Yeah, that's it. Hawkins. The reason why I say Hawkins is because he reminds me of like it not only confirms the idea of what they're gonna do with a guy like Cordero Patterson, but they have guys like even Avery Williams. This dude, they said he's gonna play on both sides of the ball. So the one thing that I complained about last year, like offensively and defensively, is this creativity. Like that, you can't get more creative than that. All right, when you drafting guys that play on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. So I like the fact that they are going after those guys like Jovian Williams and Jovian Hawkins and Avery Williams. Like I like those guys for that fact, because look, let's be honest, man. I'm tired of seeing fair catches. I'm tired of not, having all fast receivers. These guys out here running a 4-3, a 4-4, and you hardly see them hand the ball off or like even use them in a screen game. Like we don't do anything with these guys. So I like that. I like that aspect that it seems as though that they're going to be more creative with a lot of our our faster players. As Williams is going to be, he's going to be Cordero Patterson's replacement. Let's just be real. He's going to be his replacement. If he live up to what a lot of people think he's going to be that replacement.
Okay. What do you think? What you think, Drew?
While Mike was talking, I pulled up some Javen Hawkins highlights on YouTube real quick. Because I thought I had seen him. I thought I had seen him play before, but I wasn't sure. Because, like you guys know, I tell you, I don't watch a whole lot of college football, but when I do, I don't get to see every single team. You guys know college football got a ton of teams. I'm an Auburn fan myself, so I watch a lot of SEC football. But just looking at this dude, I just started smiling because he's the type of running back that I wanted the Falcons to take. I feel like we needed a change of pace back. A lot of people in the chat might get mad at me, even the panel, because I know how much you guys love Javonte Williams. I didn't want Javonte Williams on the Falcons because, to me, we got Javonte Williams on the team already. His name is who the starter guy we got. The bowling ball we already got in the backfield. Mike Davis. They're the same player. Like, I'm tired of the Falcons going out and duplicating the same exact guy. We got him on the team already. To me, we needed to change the pace back because we lost Ito Smith. We don't have that Devontae Freeman style, like a guy that can hit the hole and be gone. To me, Mike Davis is a bruiser. To me, you don't need 3 bruising backs. Because Quadra Olison's a bruiser as well. So I'm like, if you already got 2 bruisers, and we need a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. So when I just put up the highlights of this guy Hawkins, all I see is him running away from people. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this kid. Because he puts me in the mind of who I wanted us to draft, which was Chuba Hubbard. Because I felt like he was a guy that was shifty. He was a guy that could catch the ball out of the backfield. But he's a guy that if he hits a crease, he's gone. And from like the 3 highlights I watched when Mike was just talking, I see him running away from everybody, like just hitting the crease and running straight and basically burning everybody with Olympic speed. So that's what we needed. We needed that change of pace type dude because I feel like Mike Davis, he's going to be your battering ram. I don't need 3 battering rams. We already got 2 battering rams. Him and Quadra Olson is going to give you everything you want between the tackles. We needed that guy where we throw it to him in space, he can go do some things. Because Mike Davis, don't get me wrong, he led, I think he was second in broken tackles last year. So he's elusive himself, but he's a guy that wants to oppose his will. And looking at this dude Hawkins, he looks like a guy that's shifty and wants to run away from people. So he's a guy on them outside runs, and you can throw him a quick bubble screen, and it looks like he can create out in space. And I feel like that's what the Falcons were missing. I don't need a guy or the same type of player. To me, what makes a team great is when you have a bunch of guys that can do different things. Like you talk about being versatile. So I feel like the Falcons were missing that running back that's kind of like that scat back. We kind of got rid of all of it. Like Ito Smith was that smaller back, 5'9", 5'8", and that's what this dude, Javian Hawkins, looked like. He looks like one of those guys that got that speed, like a Chuba Hubbard. If he hit a crease, it's good night, Irene. Like he's a guy that can outrun a safety. I'm not looking at that from a guy like a Mike Davis. Mike Davis, he gonna just hit the hole hard, and if you stand there, he gonna try to run over you. He ain't gonna try to dodge you. He just gonna go straight ahead. But this dude Hawkins, he looks like a guy that's gonna be explosive and that's out there that can actually, once he hits a crease or catch the ball in space, he can do something with it with like a playmaker. So I really like the pick of Hawkins. He looks like he's a guy that can do some things.
Like I said, as much as I love Errol Thompson in here, there's one guy that we got an undrafted free agent that I'm kind of a big fan of. Like I said, he might like Javian Hawkins. Now I done seen him up close and personal because they played Georgia Tech this past season, and he was running on our defense like mud. Like I said, reason why he went undrafted because he was 5'8", 180 pounds. So they like to play the size game. He got heart, so that's why I love that one. But the one guy that we do have that I know that has heart, like I said, he's not the fastest receiver we got, but for what I've seen, this guy's a bully at wide receiver. He reminds me of Hines Ward, and that's Antonio Nunn. He's a bully. He's a bully. Yeah, he will run block on your ass. So this is the type of guy that Arthur Smith would love as far as your receivers. And like I said,
I'll keep that to myself. I'll keep that to myself, man.
Pause. But yeah,
y'all probably know how I'm gonna spin it. Yeah, I know how I'm gonna spin it. Yeah. But hey, man, anybody can be wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Antonio, like I said, Antonio Nunn is a bully. Like he can like I said, he from what I saw from him in college was he's not explosive as far as being a downfield threat. But the thing about it is in short yardage and chain moving situations and in the run blocking game is where he shines because he will mix it up with anybody. So that's going to be an interesting competition as far as special teams and opportunities that could play. Like Darby is a guy that's real good as far as being the one drafted. None being a guy undrafted is somebody that they're going to love. Man, and like I said, they didn't do too bad as far as undrafted. I mean, I'm looking at the list now, and it just all I just see is a bunch of guys that they got that bully mentality. They not the greatest players, but mentally they like, I don't give a damn. I'm finna knock your ass out.
Right. I love that attitude, man.
So that's like you said, like Millie Mills says right here. Competition, open competition everywhere. And that's how you build a championship team. You have to open the competition up so everybody gets an opportunity to play.
Accountability, man. That's what we always talk about. Accountability. You can't just be having guys, at position, holds position up, and they not playing. They don't play the best, and they're not playing with heart. Man, I want to see people out there giving it their all, man. I'm tired of looking at, guys, nobody around, Devontae Freeman when he's getting hemmed up by his teammates. Like you said, man, that right there killed the brotherhood right there. Like that moment, if anything killed that moment was the death of the brotherhood, the official death of it. You don't they will run. The only reason why they will pick Matt Ryan ass up off the ground is because they know if Matt Ryan kept getting hit and they didn't do anything, their ass was going to be cut immediately. Because that's one thing I can say about Arthur Blank is that you better protect his $1 million man, $100 million man. If you don't do that, your ass is grass. And we saw what happened when he put look, I don't want to see my quarterback getting hit like that. He promised. He said at the end at that press conference, he told, I promised Mr. Blake that I would never I will fix the problem. And he tried to. He didn't fix the damn problem, but he went out there and drafted Caleb McGarry in the first round and Chris Lindstrom in the first round, and then signed those two garbage cans to what, $30 million.
Oh, you talking about the 300 pounds of pudding back there?
Yeah.
300 pounds of pudding.
He did something, but it was too late by then. But so Arthur Blank don't play about his quarterback. His big time players, you better protect them. If you don't, your ass is grass.
Yeah, and you have to realize too. And another theme in this draft that I saw too, they got a lot of red shirt seniors. So these are guys that had to go through some shit. They went through some shit to get where they was, so they already know. Any day, your job is done.
That's that mentality. You got to be hungry. That's what Terrence Master was talking about. He want guys that hungry, man. Like you want those guys that's gonna work hard. They're gonna put it all on the line. That's what you need.
That's it. Blue collar workers, man. Blue collar players. That's what I seen out of this draft. A lot of guys that's why I said I love about that kid Darby. The one guy I didn't talk about when we were talking about the draft was the guy at Boise State. That's like a special teamer. I think he plays like corner. He's another guy that I can see coming in and competing for the punt returns and kickoff returns. But like we said, they brought in a lot of players that's blue collar mindset, that these guys are gonna give their all, they're gonna play hard, and they coming in with a nasty mentality. Because I know Richie Grant, all of these guys, Kyle Pitts, these guys have a nasty Mayfield. These guys have a nasty mentality. And that's where the change comes in, because you can't put it all on the coaches. Like you said, when you see your teammate getting hemmed up, that's just in your DNA. If you one of those guys, that would have been a play on the round. Aaron Donald ain't letting you hem one of his players up. Even if he on the sideline, he running off the sideline. If that would have been Todd Gurley getting hemmed up like that by one of our defensive players, he running out on the field. So that just showed how soft of the last regime was, that nobody came to his defense. Nobody on the defensive side. We didn't see Grady. We didn't see nobody come out there and help Devontae Freeman. He was out there just dangling like a rag doll. Then nobody come to his defense.
Nobody did anything.
Exactly. Everybody just looked like
It was like they just huddled back up. Right, exactly.
What they say? We can go there.
It's time to do something else.
It's about 20 Rams players on the field. Like, let's go do something. Nah, bro, your boy done already got yoked up. Billy Mills actually brought an interesting proposition here, especially with our secondary. Richie Grant with Harmon safety combination.
The best players will play. I think Eric Harris gonna have something to say about that. Even a guy that we ain't talking about, Jalen Hawkins is still sitting in the wings as well. Like, what I like about this regime is they don't have no favorites. The days of the favorites is done with. Like Keanu Neal, when he was here, he was like Dan Quinn's favorite because he played for him in college. That stuff is out the window. Because these guys, they didn't draft them. So they don't care. They just saying, if you prove it to me on the practice field, and if Dean Pease feel like you've grasped the scheme, you grasped it, he's gonna put you out there. So I really believe we're gonna see interchangeable. I don't think that it's gonna be like no set in stone. These are your starters with the safeties. I think they're gonna be rotating guys in and out for certain situations. Like if it's 3rd and long, I think he's gonna be rotating guys at that safety spot. I don't think we're gonna see just 2 guys and these are our starters because I've heard Kelsey Conway saying something about he doesn't believe in strong safety, free safety, because he makes his safeties do everything. So it's no more, this guy's the box safety and this guy's only going to do this and this guy's only do that. He's brought in guys that's interchangeable. So it ain't no such thing as, Eric Harris is only a strong safety. We're going to see these guys everywhere because he blitz from everywhere. He does he runs different schemes, different fronts. So I'm loving that we're going to keep teams off balance. What have we consistently said last year? Everybody knew when anything failed for the Falcons, if nothing else fails, we're going to play cover 3. That's what we always went back to the cover 3. With Dean Pease, from week to week, you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know. He might start Eric Harris and Harmon one week, the next week Richie Grant and Hawkins. You never know what he's going to do. So I love that about Dean Pease, that he's going to keep these quarterbacks and these offenses off balance. It's not going to be a steady diet of nothing. And that's something that veteran quarterbacks love. Like Tom Brady, he loves when he comes into a game and he sees a team playing one coverage the whole time. That's not something we're going to see with Dean Pease. He's going to mix it up throughout the game and is going to make adjustments, as we always talked about. We're going to see these adjustments this year. And that's what I'm loving about this new regime, that we're not going to get a steady diet of nothing. So don't get, as Mike always say, don't get used to seeing nobody in the Falcons uniform because we don't know. As Kstylz always say, we don't know. When he was talking about the draft, we don't know what players are saved. We don't know who's going to play from week to week. That's all, especially on the defensive side of the ball. With Dean Pease here, we don't know what this defense is going to look like.
And another point about this too is now it puts the emphasis on Grady Jarrett and Deion Jones to take that next step to be leaders.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part we not talking about, is these guys stepping up to be these vocal leaders that these players are going to be looking to. Because if they can't step it up in the leadership wise, they're going and these rookies come in and already establish themselves as alphas. That's gonna put them on that slope down to where we might not need you in the next couple of years. So they got the pressure on them too.
That's a good point. I mean, I completely agree with that as well. Like if these guys don't step up, because you heard what Arthur Smith say, I'm looking for my leaders. I'm gonna hold them accountable. Grady Jarrett was one of the first names out of his mouth. So these leaders that got that C on their chest, they're gonna have to earn it. Like we know, Mike always talked about Ricardo Allen having that C on his chest and that, he was a Dan Quinn guy. Hey, that don't exist with this regime. You're gonna have to go out there and prove it. So I wouldn't be surprised going into the season if none of these guys got that C on their chest until they earn it. We might be midway through the season before we see any captains. Like how we used to always have a captains going into the season. They might say nobody get no C until you prove it to me. Nobody, you got to prove that you're a leader. Leader is more than just having that C on your chest. You got to go out there and earn it. Like you're talking about, Kstylz, Because we can see a rookie got had that seal on their chest. They come in here and take over the locker room. Like we talk about Kyle Pitts and these guys. If they come in and they dominate and they, impose their will, hey, don't be surprised if you see some new captains. That's all I'm gonna say.
And if you get new captains, that's pretty much gonna be the old guard really gonna be out. But hey, at the end of the day, if you, like I said, the two words is run the damn ball, and the second one is do your damn job. Because if you don't do your damn job, your ass is grass. That's about the best as I can say right there.
It's really that simple, man. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't want to ever see that again, man. I don't want to ever see 3rd and 31.
Wait a minute. He said it wrong. It's the Amber Rose, Suki Hana, OnlyFans slut walk defense. Because if you're in 3rd and 31 and the offense is so comfortable that they know they can pick it up, there's a problem. I want y'all to hit this question. He said, why y'all want to run the ball so much? Shit. I'm trying to prevent my quarter. Hey, hold on. Let me say it like
question. That's a real question.
Oh, yeah, Millie, yeah, and get to the damn quarterback. Think about it. The more you run the ball, the less that Matt Ryan got the chance to get hit. You don't want your quarterback. That's any quarterback. Yeah, you don't want your quarterback dropping back 40, 45 times a game. Ask Joe Burrow about that. You don't want that. Hold on. We got a $4.99 super chat.
$4.99.
From Todd Mullis, he said, would you guys take the over or under 1.5 undrafted rookie free agents to make the final roster, not scout team?
I don't know about that. I'm too stupid. I don't know what the hell that means. What the hell that means?
That's one of those prop bets like they do every now and then.
I don't know about no betting.
So basically what he's saying is, do we believe that maybe two of these undrafted guys are going to make the final roster, the final 53-man roster? Or are we going over or under on that? And I'll say I'm going over because I think that Hawkins is going to make the roster just from looking at his highlights because he looks explosive and we don't have a running back on the roster that currently does what he does. And then I think, I keep telling y'all, Felipe Frank, I think he's going to make the roster. Whether we carry 3 quarterbacks or we carry 2 quarterbacks, he's a guy that you can groom. They might think that he's trash, but from what I've seen out of the dude's highlights and what I've seen out of his stats, he's a guy that you can groom. 6'6", 240 pounds, can make all the throws, got a strong arm, completed 70% of his passes. Hey, you ain't got to like the guy, but he got the job done. That's how I feel about it. Everybody wants, like Mike said, this prissy, he a number 1 pick. The number 1 pick means nothing if you can't play. There's been a lot of number 1 picks that couldn't play. I don't care about when you was drafted. Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. I don't care where you're drafted. It's all about coming in and proving that you can play. So I think it's going to at least be 2 guys that's going to make the final roster because the regime as well. If this was Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff, I would say no because they had favorites. And they want to make their draft picks look right. So Thomas Dimitroff's one of those guys that he had an ego, and he's like, well, this is a guy I drafted, so I want to look right. So I'm not going to say this undrafted guy beat out the guy that I drafted. Arthur Smith and them, they don't care. They don't care. They just want somebody that's going to get the job done. Like I said, they're all about blue-collar players. Can this guy get the job done? Can this guy help me win games? I can care less where you were drafted. And that's the type of coaches we need. That's the type of accountability we need here with the Atlanta Falcons because we haven't had that in a very, very long time. It's been too long that we didn't hold guys accountable and we pretty much just gave guys position. I've talked about it numerous times. we didn't make guys prove that they're ready to take over those positions. We let go of guys like Brian Poole and just force guys like Isaiah Oliver to start with basically no experience. Because we've seen, how many players have we seen that we drafted guys be on, in the inactive list, can't even get on the field.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we got. Mm-hmm. We don't know what we have. Like Mike said it on the last show. What is John Cominsky? What is Deidre Sanat? What is, Marlon Davidson? We have so many guys, and that's another reason, and I'm kind of going all over the place. That's the only reason that I think we didn't go for that one tech. It's because we got a guy like Marlon Davidson here on the roster already. We got a guy like John Cominsky already. So I think they're going to give these guys a shot before they go in and bring more guys at that position. I think they want to see what these guys can do. We don't know. Mm-hmm. These young guys, we don't know what we have on the second, third string because we didn't see them play when the last regime was here enough.
All right. I'm about to say we're going to kind of get a couple more comments and questions in before we wrap it up tonight. Taco Bell says, do we make the playoffs this year?
I say yes. Yes.
I'm about to say, look at that. My bad. I'll just get this out the way.
Go ahead.
You see Arthur Smith's face. Does he look like somebody that don't want to make the playoffs? It look like if he don't make the playoffs, he cutting everybody. That's the way he looking. All right, go ahead, Jim.
Now I'm gonna keep it short because I know the last segment I kind of rambled on, but this is gonna be one of yours, Kstylz. It's gonna be short and sweet. Hey, look, we're gonna win. We're gonna make the playoffs because last year, how many one-score games were we in? Like 7 or 8. The Harrison the Bunnies comment. Why do y'all want to run the ball so much? What I say? How do you close games? Run the ball, get to the quarterback. That's how you close games out. When you have a lead, which in most of those games last year we had the lead, if you run the ball, that's how you salt the game away. You run the clock out. You kneel. That's 2-minute offense, 3-minute offense. Hold the ball. On defense, get after the quarterback, cause turnovers. And that's the reason why I think we make the playoffs next year, because we had 8 games last year and we just couldn't close none of those games. And with this regime, they're smarter. They know situational football. They're smarter than the old regime we had here. They're going to learn. They're going to know how to close out these games.
All right.
Well, I'm going to just say yes on the grounds of just the defensive side of the ball. One of the things that we have been horrible with the past 3 to 4 years. I probably even the whole time Dan Quinn has been here. You know exactly what we're going to see on defense. You know exactly what we're going to do on 3rd and long, or even 1st and long. We could be 1st and 31. We'll go to cover 3. Like even if it is time to blitz or show something different. Like we never did anything different with the defense side of the ball. So with a guy like Dean Pease, you don't know who's coming. Anybody can come on blitz at any given time. He deliberately said that he's going to send everybody. Everybody's going to have an opportunity to blitz. So on that's going to give us the upper hand on the division. To be honest, all you got to do is win the division, or even be in second place in division to have opportunity to go to the playoffs. So with that, man. They're not going to know what the Falcons. They don't know anything about what he's going to do here in Atlanta. Like they don't know what he's going to do with Grady. They don't know if Grady's going to play more in. They don't know if the Falcons are going to play more 3-4 versus the 4-3. They don't know anything at this point. They are new. So on that premise, I think the Falcons are definitely primed to be a playoff team, just because you don't know. Not even just the defense side of the ball. You don't know what Arthur Smith is going to do right now. You don't know if he's going to run the ball a lot more. You don't know if he's going to come out throwing the ball. They have no idea what these guys are about. This is a completely different coaching staff. They don't know it. And he said he's going to play to these guys' strengths. But what does that mean? Matt Ryan can do a lot of things. He can throw a deep ball. He can throw a short intermediate route. And he's damn near unstoppable
when it comes down to the 2-minute offense. I don't think maybe Aaron Rodgers, the guy who can throw, who runs the 2-minute offense better than Matt Ryan. Aaron Rodgers is probably the only guy. But Matt Ryan in that 2-minute offense, whether it's, the 2-minute offense or it's just doing the game, to hurry up, like Matt Ryan is damn near unstoppable. So you don't know what you're going to get for the team. So based on those, the unknown, I think the Falcons could really shock a lot of people and end up even in the NFC Championship because teams don't know what they're going to get. And this is why a guy like Kyle Pitts is so dangerous right now, along with the Julio and Calvin Ridley. You don't have a damn clue what they're going to give you from week to week. That is scary for any team.
All right. Let's go ahead and make this the last question of the night. Here, this $2 super chat from New Drop.
$2. Thank you, New Drop.
He said, sorry I'm late, but any vet edge players you would like to sign?
Look, do we got any money to sign anybody? I don't think we got no money, man. Let's be real. We don't have no money. we don't have no money.
Only edges you gonna I'm about to say the only edges you gonna be signing, you better go to the damn beauty supply store and buy some edges.
Yeah, we don't have no money, man. That's what it comes down to. We don't have no money. So we can dream, you know what I'm saying? We can hope, we can wish, but it's gonna come down to developing these guys we got. Period.
We got a lot of edge players on here that we haven't seen yet.
We haven't seen, yeah. Let's get them guys a chance before we start signing up other people's trash. That's essentially what free agents are, other people's trash.
Yeah.
So I hope we answer your question, New Drop. But
yeah,
we don't got no money, dog. We don't got no money, dog. We broke.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, look, we appreciate you joining on, even if it's late. Like you said, you can catch the playback when we get off of here. But we're gonna go ahead and wind it down. This is gonna be the end of the show for the night. I appreciate the fellas here, Mr. Jew Talk Sports and Bad Mike Sports, kicking it with your boy Kstylz. Yes, ATM, yeah, Deidre Sanat and Quadra Olsen will get a fair shot. Thank you. That's what this regime is gonna be about. But I'm gonna go ahead and let these guys plug away what they want to plug in before we close it out tonight. What you got for me, fellas?
Y'all want me to go ahead? All right.
Right ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. As always, we was 200 strong in here, so we really appreciate you guys tuning in. I thank Kstylz for letting me kick it with him on Mondays. As always, it's always a pleasure to come up here, especially after the draft. I basically say the season started. After the draft, we kind of see what direction we're headed in. We pretty much know what our roster is going to look like for the most part heading into training camp. So I'm just really interested to see the defense, real talk. I love the offense, and I know the offense is going to do their thing because Matt Ryan, Julio, Kyle Pitt, Ridley, we're explosive on offense. I'm really interested to see what Dean Pease is able to draw up this defense, with this young defense. I'm really excited to see what he can do with the scraps that were left over from Dan Quinn. And we're really going to be able to see this year because we still have a lot of the nucleus of this defense, like Grady Jarrett, Foye, Deion Jones. Like, I'm really interested to see what this defense is going to look like. Like, can we get to that 15, the middle of the pack? Can we get over the 20 mark as far as ranked defense? That's what I'm really looking at. I'm focused on the defense this year. As much as I'm excited to see what the offense is going to do, I know that they're going to do their thing. I want to see what Dean Pease can do with the speed that we have, and I want to see how he's going to use the talent that we have. Like, are we going to see a Michael Walker on the edge? Because we didn't really address the edge in the draft. Yeah, we brought in the guy from Notre Dame. He's the only guy, which they're saying is kind of developmental. But we didn't really go out and address it like I thought we were going to. I thought we was going to see like a Azeez Ojulari or a Joseph Osai, but they decided to pass on that. So I'm really interested to see what Dean Pease is going to do with these guys and how he's going to use the weapons that he has. So we got a ton of weapons. I just don't know how he's going to deploy them. So that's what I'm excited about. But with that being said, you guys always hit that like button, that subscribe button at Jew Talk Sports here at Atlanta Falcons Nation. We really appreciate you guys. And we got a lot more content coming for you guys and a lot more interviews and things coming for you guys. So definitely stay tuned. And on that note, I'm going to kick it over to Mike.
Well, where should I go? I'll continue to say this, man. Here this man go. Sean, shut up. All right, this Sean just shit.
You know you can't have a show without Sean talking some shit, right?
It never fails. It never fails.
He got to have at least one. That's why we cool with him, because he got to have at least one. If he don't have one on either show we do, it ain't the right thing.
Right. Hey, man. Like we said before, man, we appreciate everybody for continuing to join us, man. Everybody who, stayed with us with that long freaking draft, almost 10 hours and 2 days, man. Not including the hour that we had. So it's about 11 hours you guys stayed with us the entire weekend. We appreciate it, man. But hey, man, I just want to reiterate this. Atlanta Falcons content creators out there, man. It ain't no hate. It ain't no, I told you so and all that type of stuff. All we try to do, all right, we're going to reiterate this. They give you nothing but the facts, the stats, and the truth. So however you feel, that is, what that means to you, whether you like it or you dislike it, that's not our problem. We're here to give you the facts, the stats, and the truth. It ain't nothing but love. And with that being said, man, I'm going to kick it to Just Kstylz.
Hey, like I said, if you ain't subscribed to Just Kstylz channel, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to it. Like I said, I'm right now on the road to 1,000. I have 745 to go. It's moving up
45
one day at a time.
Okay. Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, I still enjoy what I'm doing here. Like I said, I appreciate Mike and Jude showing me some things around here on what we got. Like I said, we got stuff coming up here. Like I said, you just be on the tune. Yeah. Notification bells is very important, so you know what's about to go down. And like I said, eventually the 6-man combo will come back. Like I said, you hit the notification bell. I'll let everybody know when that comes back. Like I said, you can hit me on Twitter at Just Kstylz. Instagram, I had to change my name. I got to look back at it. I forgot the damn name because somebody want to create some bullshit. And don't worry about me on Facebook. I ain't on that shit. But at the end of the day, it's all about respect and it's all about love. Because at the end of the day, we're all just Falcon fans, and the people that's gonna stick with this team no matter what they do are the people that these are the people that need to ride behind these players. Now, if you're using a draft pick to quote unquote be done with the Falcons, don't announce it. We don't care. Just do it.
To the left, to the left.
You ain't even gotta go to. You can go to the left. You can go to the right. You can go up top, bottom, to the back, front, whatever. Go somewhere else. The real fans gonna still be here, and that's who we cater to. So I don't care about being a bad guy for my opinions. We don't care about being bad guys here. Hey, it's all at the end of the day, it's all one love. And with that being said here, you ain't gotta go home, but
you gotta get the hell out of here. Peace.